I thought that the best way to introduce you to this course would be to start by introducing you to Birthing from Within's philosophical values and assumptions. Number one is that birth is a process of initiation. Initiation involves loss of learning. Through the process of giving birth, there is a loss of expectations, beliefs, one's sense of self, titles in the world, social contracts they hold with others, and there's also new learning. There's new learning about yourself, there's new learning about relationships, and new learning about the birth process. And all of those are part and parcel of initiation. Number two, while there is much that parents can learn prenatally about birth and pain in the modern medical system, birth is synonymous with the unknown. Something surprising or unexpected will happen in almost every birth. Number three, birth preparation begins years before parents hire a doula, take a prenatal class, or even take a pregnancy test. Beliefs about birth, about coping with pain, about asking for help, taking up people's time, and also beliefs about relationships with helpers, with partners, and with authority figures are planted in the formative years, and they are reinforced throughout a person's life. So the way that people prepare for birth is very much influenced by the lifetime of experience that they have lived before they got pregnant. Number four, in order to be prepared to birth in our modern medical culture, parents need to access both modern knowing and inner knowing. So if we just give people facts about birth, they tend to get overwhelmed. It seems like a lot of choices would be a good thing, but in fact, it tends to overload people's brains, and it can actually lead the brain to shut down. If we're asking the brain to hold too much information consciously at one time, it doesn't just decrease in function, but that part of the brain that is learning shuts off. So we don't want to overwhelm parents, but on the other hand, we also can't spend all of our prenatal appointments or all of our classes doing birth art and storytelling. There needs to be a balance between the two, a balance between inner knowing and modern knowing. And by helping parents access both kinds of knowing, we're giving them more holistic preparation for birth. Number five, the task of a doula or mentor is to awaken the huntress and love warrior archetypes in parents. This way, they can stay more present, they can access all possibilities, and they can take action when needed. We are helping to awaken the part of them that is curious and open and that is seeking and seeking inward as well, right? It's a reflective part of the self that we're helping to awaken so that they can also awaken the part of themselves that can take action, decisive action, without second guessing, with nothing more, nothing less, right? Just doing what needs to be done in the moment. And that's also the part of the self, the love warrior, that has compassion. So this is an important task of Birthing from Within mentors and doulas. Number six, by normalizing a spectrum of ways to give birth, to cope with intensity, and to support a laboring person, Birthing from Within mentors and doulas help to reduce birth trauma, both in themselves and the parents that they work with. It's maybe tempting to either talk to people about all the things they should avoid in birth, or to just paint a rosy picture of birth because some topics can be uncomfortable. But when we have the wisdom and the courage to sprinkle in the entire spectrum of birth into the gourmet classes or appointments that we are serving up, then parents can begin to hunt and can begin to explore a variety of ways to get through birth, so that no matter what situation they find themselves in, they can access different tools to move through that bend in their labyrinth. Number seven, when a childbirth educator or doula mentors parents rather than teaching them, a relationship of trust and ability to be vulnerable is established. We also help to access parents' inner wisdom, right? And so we are acknowledging it and nurturing all of the wisdom from the experiences they've already lived that they come into their interactions with you already possessing. Number eight, birth is an unknowable mystery, which is why birth professionals and parents both benefit from unattachment to specific outcomes. That doesn't mean that parents shouldn't have a goal in their birth, but when a parent's self-worth is hinged on a medical outcome, then they have an increased likelihood of trauma. And when a birth professional's self-worth is hinged on their client's medical outcome, again, we have an increased likelihood of trauma. So when we know that there are many, many factors that contribute to the way that the birth unfolds, we have more space to be unattached to that outcome and to simply show up and do our best in each moment. Number 9, birth professionals can support parents with the most open-hearted care when they engage in self-awareness and personal reflection. When it comes to that piece of inner knowing that we're helping to introduce parents to, we need to have done our own work of self-exploration, personal awareness, and personal growth in order to best serve those parents. Because if you have not engaged in self-exploration, then anything like that you share with parents is going to feel like a Xerox copy, just something that you copied from someone else but didn't truly embody. So when you do the work, your mentoring and your doulaing will come from such a deeper place, a place of lived wisdom.